Welcome back to the BookEnds YouTube channel. I'm James McGowan.
I'm Jessica Faust.
And
we did jazz hands there today.
Jazz hands, yeah. So I wanted to talk about how complete an author's book should be prior to sending queries. Because, you know, with pitch events, and I know you've seen a lot in nonfiction, with the rise of pitch events, though, people are sort of floating their ideas, right? Or trying to get a sense of whether somebody would be interested. And that book's not done. But
this one is a bit of a pet peeve of mine. So yeah, I think you're exactly right in what you say, that whether it's a pitch event or a query, authors tend to want to float the idea by to see if it's viable. And I get it, because
I was just going to say, I understand that. I would totally want to do the same thing.
Nobody wants to sit down and write a 400-page book. But you can float an idea by me and I can get super excited, but I need that book now, because when you finish the book, I may no longer be super excited.
Not only that, we hear Olive in the background. Not only that, you may not be super excited, other agents may not be super excited, but that market could have really changed.
Right. So this just happened to me.
Yeah.
I went to a conference a few years ago. And and I heard a pitch for this book, and it was like dream book. Like, this is an MSWL. This is a book I was dying to see. The author and I talked about it. I even did, I think, like a 10-page critique or something. It was all part of the conference.
Yeah.
And I waited. And I waited. And I thought, like, wow, where is this? And then, I thought, well, I guess maybe she found another agent. Maybe whatever. I just got the book. And I want to say it was at least 2 years ago that I did this conference. It may have been 3. In my mind, I was done with that. I was done with the idea. I just didn't feel that it worked in today's market. And I'm sure there's a very real possibility another agent will feel differently about it.
And if I can use another one of your stories too.
Please do.
You got a query for a nonfiction, right? And then you requested, and the proposal wasn't done, and you never got the proposal. And in the meantime, didn't you reach out to someone and you got the book and you sold the book?
Yeah. Yeah. And it even happens with a lot of things. I talk about historical mystery in this vein. So for years, I really wanted a Gilded Age New York historical mystery. I mean, from the time when I was an editor and I first read The Alienist, I wanted such a good book. I wanted a version of The Alienist. I loved the time period. I loved everything about it. About, I don't even know, 5 years ago, not even, I finally got that book. Rosemary Simpson sent me the book I had been wanting for 15 years. And I sold it, and the series has been going strong. She gets incredible reviews, and I have no desire for any other. I have my book. That was it. That's what I wanted. I've got this amazing...
Like an itch. Okay. An itch you had to scratch.
Yeah. I mean, and I didn't need 4 of them. It was really an MSWL. It wasn't necessarily a genre.
Right.
And so the problem you face with running an idea by somebody is that it might not be viable, the people might lost interest. And then I think, well, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I would think your frustration is going to be that much greater when you wrote an idea with this assumption.
Well, because you kind of like lift your spirits up a bit. So you're getting your hopes up and like you're getting feedback or whatever. And then you write that book and you might not get that same feedback. But, and again, it's just more of wasting your time, right? Because you have done all of this work to query when you don't have the book, and you have to do it again. You will have to query again.
And I see this a lot, I think, especially in nonfiction. I have a stack of queries that I have requested proposals for nonfiction in my query manager that haven't come, and they haven't come, and they haven't come. And I know the author, wanted to run the idea by me. But I would guess in a lot of those cases, all they have is an idea.
Yeah.
They haven't gone any further to see if there's actually a book in the idea, to see if they could write a book. I think in a lot of cases, they haven't even really organized an outline to get an idea of to get an idea if there's more to the idea.
Right.
And, if that comes through and 6 months to a year later, I still don't have the proposal, I'm not necessarily going to people and say, hey, write this book and passing them the query letter. But now I'm going to start looking for experts who are speaking on that same thing and doing something similar and thinking, yeah, sure, I really want a book on, I don't know, the Rubik's Cube.
But even if
And
you
this
didn't go looking for it, like even if you didn't take 2 years in between, you didn't go looking for it, 2 years could be upward of, I don't even know, I don't want to do the math, a lot of queries. So that book could come. You're not the only, people have the same ideas.
Well, and to tell another story,
Right.
I did have a conversation with an author last year. And this author, I think she reached out to me and we had a whole conversation about the book she wanted to write. And I was like, oh my God, I so want this book on my list. Yes, let's do something. I followed up a couple times and fell off the face of the earth, just disappeared. And a year or so later, I actually got multiple queries that were very similar to her idea. Ended up with 2 authors with very comparable books to this, sold them, and this author all of a sudden shows up out of nowhere and says, so, given the recent change in climate, I really think it's time for my book. And I said, well, I can look at your proposal, but the truth is I already sold. And you know what she said? I still haven't written a proposal.
Yeah.
She was just waiting for the guarantee, but without a book, there's no guarantee.
Yeah, we're gonna make a little meme out of that.
Also keep in mind that your idea is going to shift and take shape and grow as you write. So pitching an idea without truly knowing the journey that idea is going to take is also not worth your while, because you could have this great idea for, about a wedding singer and not realize that it's going to become a suspense when you were originally thought it was going to be a romantic comedy.
Right. And so the point you made about a guarantee, there is never going to be a guarantee. The best tip that I think we can give is to know the market, to have read extensively in the genre that you're hoping to write. And you will gain confidence in what you're writing if you know what's been written, what's being written, what works, what doesn't work. The best thing that any writer can do, and we've said it so many times, and it's probably the most common given advice, is that you need to be reading.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is there's not even guarantee an agent will read your material. You can pitch whatever you want, and an agent can say, I'm really interested in it. But at the end of the day, requesting material is a whole different ballgame.
Yep. So if you're going to query, make sure you are only doing so when your book is ready to go or your proposal is ready to go. And we hope you think of BookEnds when you do. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we hope we'll see you back next time.
Bye.